In the last few days, we've been very sad to lose two remarkable characters from our communities. First of all, Ross Adamson and then Bobby Johnston. Both of them countrymen to their very fingertips. Both of them heads of large farming families. Men who grafted all their hard-working lives on these northern fells. And both absolute pillars of the church and chapel. Ross was churchwarden at St John's, Healy for half a century, and for the same amount of time, Bobby was the linchpin of Slaley Methodist Church. Their faith and their commitment unites them, but there's something else too. An utterly infectious sense of humour. In Ross's case, his elaborate shaggy dog stories should never be repeated from a pulpit or on an occasion like this. I just daren't. In my book, a vivid sense of humour isn't only compatible with faith, but is often an inseparable part of it. Love is always ready to smile and see the funny side of life, and humour, used wisely and generously as both Bobby and Ross showed, helps build a healthy community. Humour helps us to see life in perspective and our place within it. It enables us to have a healthy self-knowledge too, which in turn is an essential part of being able to be equipped to help other people flourish. It builds community, it turns us out towards one another, and it's an essential part of being truly and fully human. And paradoxically, I think, it's by being most fully attuned into our humanity that we become more aware of God breaking into our lives. Laughter helps us to address the absurdities of life and helps us to find hope in the midst of tragedy. Laughter is truly godly. Through their humour, they couldn't help but keep fun ideas bubbling to the surface, even when indeed for them also life was pretty grim, even though they both knew they were not long for this life. But both Bobby and Ross showed us more about ourselves through that and more about God. And we really need folk like them. And if anyone tries to suggest, anyone dares to suggest that humour is absent from the Bible, for example, they clearly haven't read it. Okay, the perennial problems of being lost in translation maybe veil a little bit of it. But stories of talking donkeys and of camels struggling to go through the eyes of needles are there for you to see. And as it says in the book of Proverbs, a cheerful heart is a good medicine, but a downcast spirit dries up the bones.